Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Jaron Boots Ennis is back, and I'm glad to see him back. The man's been out the ring for a while, been trying to sort things out with his career, and seems to be on track. Now, when it comes to Jaron Boots Ennis, this being fight week, and his opponent, David Avanesyan, I got to tell people out here to hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. Many people think Jaron Boots Ennis is going to just walk through David Avanesyan. I would hope that he's able to do that. But David Avanesyan is a very difficult fight for anyone. Now, don't for a second think because Terrence Crawford, once he was done sparring with Avanesyan, because that's what it looked like he was doing to me in the first couple of rounds, because Avanesyan hit Crawford with some shots where I was like, what the hell? Crawford not supposed to get hit with that. But Crawford was laughing and playing around. But you saw when Crawford said, hey, yo, Avanesyan, hold your horses. My man, you're taking it to the stupid. You're hitting me. Now it's time for me to go into the phone booth, take off the suit and tie. And Terrence Crawford came out the phone booth, this southpaw man. And you know what happens when that man turns southpaw, fights in. Knocked Avanesyan's ass out cold. But when you talk about Jaron Boots Ennis, 31 wins, 28 KOs, 90% KO ratio. Outstanding. Outstanding. 90% KO ratio against who? That's the dilemma. 5'10", 74-inch reach. Now, this is the thing that I want to point out about Jaron Boots Ennis. He passes the eye test. He passes the eye test. But now he's getting himself in the ring with real tests, real opposition. And we're going to see if he's really what we think he is. I do. But this weekend is a good start to figure it out. Now, Jaron Boots Ennis is 5'10" and 74 with a 74-inch reach. Let me tell you, that reach is a problem. That reach alone can help Jaron Boots Ennis with his outstanding IQ and outstanding boxing ability and athleticism. That reach alone can take this man to probably go on and have an undefeated career because he's smart and he's got an educated jab. But when you take a look at some things here, right? This is Jaron Boots Ennis, man. He's fighting Avanesyan this weekend. The last time he fought was about a year ago. And before that, he had fought about 6 months prior. But when you look at the names of the guys he's fought, Roman Villa, he deserves credit for that win because Roman Villa clipped Rashidi Ellis. Rashidi Ellis was kind of tagged to be the next big thing in the welterweight division. Before that, he fought Chikadze, looked like he got caught up trying to entertain the crowd instead of getting Chikadze out the goddamn ring because Chikadze didn't belong in there with Boots Ennis. Learned from that, came back with Villa, showed that he's strictly business, like EPMD. Before that, he fought Custial Clayton, which was a joke of a fight. Clayton came there for the payday and took his ass back to Canada. Then Delorme clipped him, embarrassing Lorme, man. Got him out there with the quickness, fought Lipinets. Took some shots he shouldn't have taken, but that's Boots' style of fighting, and got Lipinets' ass out of there. Van Herden, Carlos Abreu. But what I wanted to point out there is when you look at these names, it's almost like, who are these guys, right? There's really no notable names on his resume, but quality guys. Avanesyan is the most notable name on his resume, and Avanesyan is going to scrap. Now you're saying, all right, Hood Champion, you're saying all this for what? Because you think Jaron Boots Ennis is going to lose? You out here bigging up Avanesyan. Hey, yo, hold your horse and subscribe. I didn't say that. Take it easy, Bob Marley. I didn't shoot the sheriff. Now, what I will tell you is when it comes to David Avanesyan, where we are pulling him up right here, right? Now, check this shit out. This is Avanesyan. Man looking kind of crazy, man, like he from Transylvania and shit. 30 wins, 18 KOs, 4 losses, 2 of those losses by KO. 60% KO ratio out of Armenia. The man's 5'8", Boots is 5'10". His reach is 68. Boots' reach is 74 inches. Boots has a 6-inch reach advantage. That is a problem for Avanesyan because Crawford's reach, I think, is 75 inches. So again, Crawford and Boots built about the damn same. And you saw what happened when Crawford decided he was done playing with Avanesyan. He was able to get him out of there. But what I want to point out here for people is when you take a look at David Avanesyan, he fought, about 6 months ago. and he happened to get a win. Got the guy out of there in 4 rounds. It was only a 6-round fight. Got him out of there in 4. Fought Crawford. The fight went 6 rounds. He had some moments, but Crawford was just, again, like he was sparring with him. Then he had fought a guy before that, Metz. Then he fought Liam Taylor. Then he had fought Josh Kelly. Now, that Josh Kelly fight showed that Avanesyan was a tough cookie because he was not supposed to beat Josh Taylor. Talk about upsetting the apple cart. And Josh Taylor, his career has never really been the same since he got the bing bings put on him. But what I want to get at with Avanesyan is Avanesyan, compared to the other opponents Boots fought, I think Avanesyan has more experience. Now, how would Avanesyan fare against the guys Boots fought? I don't know. But I just don't think Avanesyan, coming off of that Crawford loss, to come back and get a win, to go in here with Boots, I don't think Avanesyan is looking to lose. Now, it doesn't mean he's going to win. I think Boots beats him. But I think he's going to definitely try to fight smarter and not get caught with anything crazy. You see, this is what I'm concerned about with Boots coming up this weekend. He's at home. Eddie Hearn's invested a lot of money in Jaron Boots Ennis. And you may say, how you know that? Because it's on a multi-fight, multi-million-dollar deal. What are you talking about, Big Nicholas? Boots has to be careful not to get caught up with trying to impress the crowd and put on such a dazzling performance that he fucks around and gets caught with something. Because Avanesyan hits hard enough to where if he hits you with something you don't see, you could find yourself on the canvas, even if it's just a flash knockdown. And Boots can't afford to have that happen. Matter of fact, Eddie Hearn has invested heavily in the 140-pound division as well. To see Suber and Matias get the bing bings put on by Paro, it's kind of a win-lose for Eddie, because he loses because Matias is his guy, but he wins because Paro is his guy. But I really think Eddie Hearn had high hopes on Regis Prograis. And Regis Prograis really isn't panning out to be what Eddie Hearn thought he was going to be. Okay? So we got to see with Boots Ennis. He can't afford to get knocked down. I don't even think he can afford to get touched by Avanesyan. But it's a tough fight. But I think the difference in this fight, forget the athleticism, forget the skill, power, all that. I think Boots Ennis can knock Avanesyan out, especially between round 4 and 6. If he stays behind that jab, frustrates Avanesyan, gets his mind worried about that educated long jab of Ennis, then drops and puts the bing bings on him. But if he comes in there like he did against Chikadzian and Roman Villa and start, doing the Roy Jones and tapping his shoe and dancing and spinning and doing all kind of bullshit in the ring, I just think that could end up backfiring on him. And it doesn't mean he's going to lose. I just think it gets send a message of, my man, you more worried about entertaining the crowd than getting this guy up out of there who doesn't even belong in the ring with you. And I just think he can't afford to do that. Not coming off of this weekend with the fights that we just saw. Some good fights or whatever, but if you got someone in the ring and you can get them out of there within 10 seconds of the fight, get their ass out of there. Nobody gets paid for overtime. You know what I'm saying? And don't worry about trying to entertain the crowd. When Boots fought Chikadzian, he was worried about the crowd. Pulling up in the goddamn, a Rolls Royce truck, had a big piece of jewelry around his neck looking crazy. I thought he was going to goddamn hang himself. All the clothes and all that, coming to the ring, talking shit to the crowd while he's in there fighting. Don't do that, man. Stay locked in. And if you hit him and you hurt him, don't start showboating. Iron Mike Tyson, man, come in that motherfucker and blast his ass out there. But anyway, we'll see. I got Boots 4 to 6 rounds. But really, if he gets in there and realizes Avanesyan still a bit rusty, get his ass out of there in the first round. Get him out of there. But don't go out there acting foolish and getting crazy and have this guy knock you down, even if it's a flash knockdown. Can't afford to have that happen because the boxing fans, they're going to converge on him. Boots isn't dead. Crawford destroyed Avanesyan. Avanesyan knocked Boots down. Nobody's going to want to understand if Boots knocks him out cold. All they're going to talk about is Avanesyan happened to catch him with a flash knockdown. That's going to be the talk of the town. I don't want that for Boots, man. But what I will tell you is not if Boots gets past him, because I think he does. Pull something up here, right? Boots gets past Avanesyan. It's like, okay, well, what's next for Jaron Boots Ennis? Goddamn trash man out there, huh? I'm going to tell you what's next for Boots Ennis, man. Let me go up to his division. This is just me taking a look at it and trying to make sense of what could be next for Boots. Okay, right here. We're right here, right? This is the 147-pound division. We know Crawford's not fighting at 147. Crawford and Spence are still here. They should drop off, in my opinion. But I get it. Crawford was undisputed. Spence shouldn't even be in here. Ennis is really ranked number 1. But Ennis is the IBF champion. Now, this is the thing. He's fighting David Avanesyan. In his next fight, Jaron Boots Ennis has to fight his mandatory. He has to fight his mandatory. Now, I'm sure in boxing politics, the secret society, and Fast Eddie, he'll probably be able to swerve Chikadzian. But goddamn, Boots Ennis just went and fought Chikadzian. Somehow Chikadzian bubbled up 6 spots. Let me enlarge this for you guys, man. Check this out. You see Chikadzian's name right there? He bubbled up. That's what that so means. That start of entry, that little triangle with the 6 next to it means he bubbled up 6 spots to become the mandatory to Boots Ennis. Why in the world would they have made him the mandatory to Boots Ennis? What has Chikadzian done to become the mandatory to anybody? But nonetheless, I think Eddie Hearn's going to be able to swerve that. Now, if he does, and he still has to face a mandatory, well, now you're looking at maybe facing Cody Crowley, the fight he should have been going into. But that being said, when you look at who the champions at 147, it's Brian Norman Jr., because Crawford, that belt is gone. Barrios and Stanley Eunice, you know what I'm saying? Just me looking at Stanley Eunice, I don't think he beats Boots. Looking at Barrios, tough fight, I think Boots gets him. Barrios has too much scar tissue, man. And Stanley Eunice has been in tough fights. I think he would swell up as well. I think Barrios and Stanley Eunice would get stopped from swelling and cuts. And Brian Norman Jr. may be the freshest one out the batch and have a pulse. But nonetheless, all interesting fights. But I think Boots clips everybody at 147. I just don't think Boots has a problem with becoming undisputed. His issue may be the politics of boxing and how they try to force him to fight a guy like Chikadzian, who Boots already, went in there and proved that Chikadzian didn't want to engage with him. I think that's a horrible goddamn idea to put him back in the ring with that guy. But anyway, who am I? That being said, y'all keep cool. Boots, goddamn 6-inch reach advantage. He makes the fight easy with his jab, and then he just knocks Avanesyan out. But if he's showboating to that crowd and all that bullshit, he may get maybe a flash knockdown, and that's something that he just can't afford to happen. Get him out of there and try to move on and unify the division. That's what I'd like to see. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.